Hi, this is Diane Lovetobake on YouTube. What we're going to make are chocolate cherry muffins. This is a pretty quick recipe. It's an easy one, but it's a good one. And let's get started. Now, I no longer put the recipe below the video, and I'm really sorry about that, but hopefully I'll have time to explain that to you. But anyway, let's talk about ingredients. First up, to save some time, I went ahead and did some of the recipe beforehand. Now, hopefully I'll go slowly enough and clearly enough that if you want to jot it down or whatever, you will have the recipe. So first start off with 6 tablespoons of unsalted butter. And I put it in this microwave bowl. Now, also, you'll want to cut up 5 ounces of your favorite chocolate. If you prefer, and I prefer, dark chocolate, that's probably best, but any type of chocolate that you like, it'll work. Take 5 ounces of it, chop it up coarsely, okay? And what you'll want to do is you'll divide it in half, okay? So this is half of my chocolate that I have coarsely chopped. And the other half of it, I put in my butter and also a cup of milk. So this bears repeating. Take 6 tablespoons of butter, 1 cup of milk, and half of your 5-ounce chocolates in there. And then you can put it in a pan if you want on low and melt everything. Or you can just use the microwave, which I do. So all I have in here is the milk, the chocolate, which has been melted, and the unsalted butter, okay? Now, allow that to cool for at least 15 minutes because we're gonna put in eggs, 2 of them. And we don't want to do it when it's hot because, of course, you'd have scrambled eggs. This mixture has cooled down enough that I can put my eggs in. And I'm just going to try to whisk them in. You don't have to be real fancy with it, but just whisk those eggs in. Okay? All right. Now, what we're going to do is work on our dry ingredients. All right? We're going to need 1 1/3 cups of all-purpose flour. We're also going to be putting in 1/3 of a cup of unsweetened cocoa. Now, this isn't the cocoa that you just add water and make hot chocolate out of it. It's unsweetened. So that was 1/3, okay? You're also going to put 1/3 of a cup, and do pack your brown sugar. That's why I don't break it up to the video, and put that together. That's 1/3 also, okay? Now I'm just going to take a spoon here and just mix it up a bit. It doesn't have to be stir it, doesn't have to be perfect, just mix it in. The next thing of dry you're going to put in is 1½ teaspoons of baking powder. That was 1½ teaspoons. You're also going to put in 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. And you will put 1/2 teaspoon of salt into your dry ingredients. Okay? All right, just, give that a little stir, or with your whisk, or with a fork, whatever that you want to do. Now I have a mixing bowl ready here, okay? So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take my liquid of my melted chocolate and butter and eggs, and now I'll give it another quick whisk. And I'm going to put in the dry and just start whisking it in till it's all combined. You don't want to over mix it, but you want to make sure everything's combined. So I'll put just a little at a time. That's the rest of all the dry. And again, with your whisk, just make sure that everything is combined. It will be a watery type batter, so it won't be real thick. But don't worry that you did something wrong, because you didn't. Okay. So I'm going to put that aside for the moment. Okay. And you'll need, because we're making muffins, there'll be 12. Hopefully we're going to fill them about halfway. Oh, and I almost forgot. You're going to be needing the rest of your chopped chocolate. Put that into your batter. And then you're also going to put a cup of your dried cherries. Now, you can put in whatever type of dried fruit that you like, and then just whisk that together. Okay, can't believe I almost forgot that. All right, and now with a scoop, I'm just going to go in and scoop in my batter. And I'm not going to bore you with showing you that, because everybody knows how to put batter into muffin cups. But you'll have 12 of them. Now, if you find that it looks like they're going to be overfilled, then save a little extra and make a couple more muffins. You know, and I'll explain that in a moment too. So now you're going to bake these at 400 degrees, and it's going to take you anywhere from 14 to 18 minutes depending on your oven, because you know our oven's set up so differently, all of ours. I start checking mine at about 11 minutes or so, 11 to 12 minutes, you know, with a toothpick or a cake tester, or however that you prefer to test it. And then, you know, once you do that, just see if the toothpick or the tester is dry. You don't want to over bake them, because you don't want to dry them out either. Then once you take them out of the oven, rather than removing them right away to a cooling rack, let them sit just for a few minutes, then take them out of your muffin pan and put them on a cooling rack till they're completely cool for about 10 or 15 minutes. That way, if you want to frost them or make a glaze for them or put powdered sugar over them, whatever you can. But that way the muffins, when you open them, they won't all break apart. So if you wait till they really cool, you're going to be, well, you'll be happier. I'm going to wash my hands quickly, and I'm going to show you the finished product. Okay, and this is how they turn out. Now, the reason I said earlier, if you want to try to get 13 or 14 muffins, if you don't like them, like this one came to a little bit of a peak, then you might have to make an extra, you know, muffin, like I said, the 13 or whatever, okay? Now, these came up nice and high, but this one and this one had a little bit of a top on it. If that bothers you, again, make your 13th or your 14th muffin, okay? Or if you're frosting them, you can just really cut that top off and then put a frost or a glaze over it, and I don't think anybody would know a difference, okay? So let's cut one in half so you can get an idea what they look like. They do have a beautiful dark chocolate brown. They'll have a firm top to them, okay? And then when you break them open, you will see the chunks of chocolate and the cherries in there. So it's going to add a lot of moisture. Even though they're dried fruit, it's going to, you know, be very moist. And I don't know if you can see it as I'm pushing down on, and let me just take the paper off here. Okay, if you can see as I'm pressing down how moist. The crumb itself is quite light. They're not real dense, they're not real heavy. They're really anywhere from light to medium in texture. But as you can see, they're so moist. They are absolutely delicious, because if you like chocolate and you like cherries, or you can use whatever fruit that you like that goes well with chocolate. These are absolutely delicious, and they're so easy to make, because you can just do, as you saw, no mixer required, no hand mixer, no stand-up mixer, just in the bowl, in the microwave if that's what you want to do, or use a saucepan on the stove to melt. It'll be up to you. But they make delicious chocolate muffins. They really do. And again, if you try the dark chocolate, I think you'll enjoy it more than milk chocolate. But whatever you use, chocolate is chocolate, and man, it tastes, I think, fantastic. So there we have it. I hope that if you try this recipe, you'll let me know and write to me. I will do my very best to answer in a timely fashion. I want to remind you that solely my videos are put on YouTube and nowhere else. And very quickly, I'm not alone on this, that's for sure, but the reason I no longer put the recipe is because I got tired of seeing my work posted, pinned, taken to other sites, people claiming it theirs. But what really made me so frustrated is when people wrote to me, or they had a question, or they liked the recipe, or whatever. I couldn't answer them. But if you watch me on YouTube and you write to me on YouTube, I'll get your question and I'll respectfully answer in a timely fashion, okay? So I want to thank you for watching Diane Lovetobake on YouTube. If you'd like to subscribe, I can't thank you enough, or ring the bell. So once again, thanks again. Stay well, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.